soldier.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being in this place together. Would you all please stand for the singing of the national anthem?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I'm Beth Ruyak. I am the host of Insight on Capital Public Radio. We want to say thanks to our bagpiper who is here year after year, Colonel Bill Tubbs from the California State Military Reserve, and to the lovely Caltrans choir, this year with Joe Rouse, Paul Moore, Angela Shepard, Sidney Rodriguez, and Don Howe. And the quintet is under the direction of Joe Rouse. Would you please give them applause? Also, a thank you to Randy Hyatt. He is Senior Transportation Engineer with Traffic Operations. He performed the beautiful music. He's the guitarist that always greets us as we gather here before the ceremony began. Welcome. This is the 29th Caltrans Workers Memorial. And every year this happens because of the kindness, the generosity, and the appreciation of a number of sponsors. I'm happy to say this year that Capital Public Radio is on that list. We also want to thank professional engineers in California government and American Traffic Safety Services Association. Please take a look after the ceremony at the National Traveling Wall behind me that honors safety workers across the country who have lost their lives. It's always significant that it is here with us at this ceremony. California Transportation Foundation is again a sponsor, as is International Union of Operating Engineers State Unit 12, the California State Military Reserve, Flasher Barricade Association, and Capital Barricade are sponsors. And as always, we say thanks to the CHP, the California Highway Patrol. I think their human backdrop is especially powerful. So to them and all of our sponsors, again, please applause. If you look at the front of your program, you see the phrase, "in memory of." And we use that phrase easy constantly. But a memory is that moment, it's that thought, that sensation, that scene, that feeling, that snap of time that reminds us that we're connected to each other. A memory is timeless. A memory is precious. And that's the place that we are today, in memory of 189 fallen workers since 1921. But our condolences go in particular to you, the family members. We have about 100 of you here today. And you have told me year after year and time after time that this is a place that feels so close and so strong in that connection of what being in memory of is. I don't want anyone here today to be afraid to approach a family member with a story, a moment, any of your own connection, and let them know about the appreciation of their loved one. We're glad you're here. That's, I think, as it should be. And so, with us in the audience, I would like to tell you the family members here today. They are from the family of Nelson Peck, District 8, who lost his life in 1958. Rupert McGurr, District 11, from 1970. Donald Parker, District 11, 1971. Carlo Tardito, District 4, 1971. Perry Stills, District 4, 1973. David Guillen, District 7, 1976. Carl Taylor, District 2, 1976. Robbie Haney, District 7, 1981. Ann McCormick, District 3, 1987. Juan Thome, District 7, 1993. Michael Magana, District 8, 95. Thomas Ortega, District 8, 1995. Chester Ray Hawkins, District 10, 2004. Dan Bresky, District 1, 2005. Dewan Bush, District 4, 2007. Matthew White, District 3, 2007. Deborah Ross, District 4, 2009. Gary Smith, District 3, 2010. Stephen Palmer, District 11, 2011. Robert Jones, District 2, 2013. Sean Baker, District 2, 2013. We pause for a moment as you and all of us remember your loved one. Also today, we recognize the family of Dean Patton from District 3. Many of you were here that day. We had gathered just like this when we got the news that Dean had been killed in a traffic accident on his way to this event. That was in 2013. The family of Paul Inman is here. He was from District 3, a member of the original Honor Guard, and he died in 2017. I also want to acknowledge there are many friends and coworkers here for lead worker William Kasdorf from District 11, who just lost his life on September 19th. His family is long distance. We extend our condolences and our comfort to his wife and his 3 daughters. He will be honored in today's ceremony, and we hope in the future to be able to give the in-person embrace to his family. We remember William Kasdorf. So each of the people, each of those names is part of the tapestry of the Caltrans family. There is another common thread to the picture, and that is the highway worker occupation across the country, whether it's on state highways or local roads, whether state employees or contractors. And so today, I also want to note that the family of Tony Pontliana is here. He was an employee for the city of Sacramento. He died in 2006. His crew is always here too. Many members come to support his memory. We're all in memory together for every one of you. And now with today's invocation, Chaplain Deborah Fontes of the Law Enforcement Chaplaincy.
On behalf of Chaplain Mindy Russell, who could not be here, she sends her greetings and prayers. Would you bow your heads with me? Almighty God, we ask you to strengthen us, restore us, and inspire us with your love during this ceremony of honor as we continue onward, that we would carry the memory of these loved ones in our hearts and that their legacy lives on through each of us, that those who have and will come after will know the dedication and sacrifice of those honored today. Bless those here today. Thank you for your peace and comfort. In this we pray. Amen.
Thank you again to our Caltrans Honor Guard. I think they embody the message of safety and reverence that ripples throughout the Caltrans family. And you probably would realize that they pay tribute to employees and lives have been lost. They attend memorials and funerals throughout the state. They are continually in memory of in the work that they do. Each of the cones in the diamond in front of me represents a fallen Caltrans worker. There is a black cone at the front point of the diamond, and that represents all fallen workers across the country who have lost their lives, and that includes those working for transportation contractors and partners. And with that, it's my pleasure to welcome to the podium Caltrans Director, Lori Berman.
Good morning. We gather today to remember and honor the 189 Caltrans employees who made the ultimate sacrifice while serving the people of California. For all of the family members, friends, colleagues who have lost a loved one in the line of duty, please know we share your grief and we stand here with you to honor you as well. Thank you to our speakers for joining us and to our Caltrans Honor Guard who traveled here from throughout the state. I also want to acknowledge our partners in transportation safety here on the dais with me, Vincent Mamano, California Division Administrator for the Federal Highway Administration, Ryan Stonebreaker, Assistant Division Chief for the California Highway Patrol, Brian Kelly, Chief Executive Officer for High Speed Rail, Kathleen Webb, Acting Director for the Department of Motor Vehicles, Steve Crouch, Director of Public Employees, Stationary Engineers, Local 39, Kate Mergen, Associate Vice President of Government Affairs for the Associated General Contractors of California, and in the dignitary seating area, our Caltrans District Directors from around the state. District Directors, would you please stand for a moment? I know that, yes, I know that every district director's worst nightmare is getting that call, and I appreciate all that you do every day to keep your employees safe. Thank you. Also joining us today are former Caltrans directors Malcolm Doherty and Tony Harris, and thank you both for coming back to be with your Caltrans family. It means a lot to us. From the California Transportation Commission, we have Commission Chair Fran Inman, as well as Executive Director Susan Branson. And from the California Transportation Foundation, Heinz Heckeroth and Sarah West. I want to thank Heinz and Sarah for not just being here today, but for being here every time tragedy strikes the Caltrans family. And today, they will be accepting donations for the Injured and Fallen Workers Fund, which is a tremendous help to us. Since our last memorial, it is my sad duty to report that 5 individuals made the ultimate sacrifice working either for Caltrans or on Caltrans projects. The Caltrans family suffered a tremendous loss last September with the death of Caltrans maintenance lead worker William Kasdorf, better known to his friends and loved ones as Kaz. While his family, including his wife and 3 daughters, could not be here with us today, I know many of the people he worked with for years, his work family, are here with us. And today, all of us, your Caltrans family, stand with you in honoring Kaz. Kaz joined Caltrans nearly 2 decades ago and made a tremendous impact on the San Diego region and the state of California. He was selfless, passionate, dedicated to his family, including his Caltrans family. To say he had a big heart would be an understatement. And I remember when I was a Caltrans district director in San Diego a few years ago, he helped rescue a blind, deaf, and feeble Jack Russell Terrier while he was working near I-8, and then he was able to reunite the dog with his very grateful owner. It was a real feel-good news story that was broadly covered by the media and really helped to improve the image of Caltrans. He went out of his way to help the public and his coworkers, and he made a huge contribution to people's lives without them ever even knowing him by keeping our highways safe. He truly cared for those he worked with and carried the burden of making sure his team got home safely to their families every night. Unfortunately, on the night of September 19th, Kaz did not make it home to his family. Words simply cannot express the depth of appreciation we all have for his dedication and service. We will never forget Kaz, just as we will never forget the other 188 individuals who we are honoring today, who made the ultimate sacrifice on behalf of the citizens of California. I also want to acknowledge the loss of 2 of our CHP family members who were tragically killed in the line of duty over the past year. Sergeant Stephen Lacone, who served the people of California for 27 years, his life was taken by a reckless driver earlier this month while conducting a traffic stop on I-15 in Lake Elsinore. Officer Kirk Griss served the people of California for 19 years, and his life was taken by a distracted driver on I-80 in Fairfield. Both of these losses highlight the dangers faced by all who work on the highways. This past year, we also lost and honor today 4 individuals who were contractor employees working on Caltrans projects. They were Kelly Haskell, Pete Marzano, Jordan Hoyt, Jesse Romero. The loss of all these lives is unacceptable. And after we witnessed the loss of 4 contractors this past year, we immediately held a statewide safety stand-down. But that really wasn't enough. I felt we needed to do more, and that's when we began organizing a safety summit to bring together leaders from more than 20 different industry groups. Then, while planning the summit, we lost Kaz. So, following Kaz's passing, we convened our safety summit with renewed determination. There, we agreed on 3 specific safety changes that will make a difference in our work zones. These changes will help drivers be more work zone alert, which has become more important than ever. Due to Senate Bill 1, Caltrans and local agencies now have an additional $5 billion a year to fix existing roads, and this work is critical to the lives and livelihoods of all Californians. But this has also doubled the number of work zones on our roads as compared to 2 years ago, and that means more exposure for our work crews. Therefore, we are not stopping with the Safety Summit recommendations. Today, I am also announcing the creation of a new Chief Safety Officer position in my office who will report directly to me. As our new safety point person, this position will lead and deepen Caltrans' culture of safety. This will include training, instilling best practices, listening to employees, and partnering with our unions and our contractors to truly move us toward zero deaths on California roads. And in June, we will launch our new Be Work Zone Alert public safety campaign. Its theme is similar to our 2015 campaign, which many of you are familiar with, and featured a compelling message from the children of Caltrans highway workers. I recently got to meet and talk with some of the kids who are featured in the new campaign, and I can tell you, these kids know exactly how dangerous the job is that their parents are doing. So when you hear them talk about this issue, you will feel the concern behind their words. But let's take a minute and hear directly from a few of them.
All right, guys, listen up.
My mama,
My dad,
Our grandpa.
my daddy,
Our dad works at Caltrans.
right on the highway.
Right next to speeding cars.
it's so scary. I worry about her.
Some people drive so fast.
Bam,
bam, bam. Please.
please be careful. At least slow down.
And pay attention.
Be alert. Be work zone alert.
Without the sound, you can tell what we're talking about, and I think that will resonate with all of this. When this campaign launches in June, you can all help by sharing and linking to these ads that will be posted on Caltrans' website and social media channels. We want to get this message in front of as many drivers as possible. Our goal is simple. Someday soon, I think 2019 is the right time, we want to have no new highway worker deaths to memorialize. That is a simple but very significant goal, and it's also the best way we can honor the memory of Kaz and of our other 188 fallen workers and all our contractors who have lost their lives in the line of duty. For all of you who work on our highways, please do not gamble with your safety. Take the time to make sure you're protected. Let's all commit to improving our safety culture, and let's ask the general public to do the same. Now it is my honor to introduce our next speaker, Brian Annis, Secretary of the California State Transportation Agency.
Well, good morning. I am honored to be here today to join you in recognizing the great sacrifices and tremendous commitment to public service that Caltrans workers make each and every day in California. Each day as we're commuting to and from work, home and around our state, Caltrans workers are risking the known hazards excuse me, of repairing our roads with traffic operating just feet away. In addition to the 50,000 lane miles of roadway, I'm going to grab a water. Excuse me. In addition to the 50,000 lane miles of roadway, the state maintains more than 12,000 bridges, 205,000 culverts, 30,000 acres of landscaping, and 87 roadside rest areas. Caltrans workers often perform their jobs outside of barricades entirely as cars speed around them. I want to take this opportunity to thank the men and women of Caltrans for your efforts in keeping Californians safe and keeping our state moving. Your service makes our community safer and helps ensure the well-being of our state. Highway construction, as we all know, is one of the most dangerous occupations in the United States. It is because of this that the specific safety changes identified by Director Berman are critical in educating drivers to be work zone alert. Work zones are dynamic places that can change from minute to minute. The presence of large trucks, changing traffic patterns, and reduced speed limits create an environment where being alert can be the difference between life and death. With the passage of SB 1, the amount of work zones has increased significantly as Caltrans workers endeavor to rebuild California's infrastructure. In 2018, more than 7,000 work zone collisions occurred on California roadways. About 2,300 resulted in injuries, and 46 involved a fatality. Nationally, drivers and passengers account for 85% of the people who are killed in work zones. This year, we pay special tribute to Caltrans maintenance lead worker William Kasdorf, who died on the job September 19th in Kearney Mesa. I want to express my heartfelt condolences to the family and friends of Mr. Kasdorf, or Kaz, and to the many other families gathered here today who have suffered great losses. As we honor the 189 Caltrans workers killed on the job since 1921, we also thank the 19,000 Caltrans workers who help make our streets and highways safer each and every day. Your work does not go unnoticed, and we truly appreciate what you do. In the coming years, we will see a lot of activity on our highways, as Director Berman highlighted. Work zone safety is in all of our hands. Stay alert and help protect our workers so they can come home to their families. Thank you very much.
Thank you to Secretary Annis and Director Berman. I want to try something. I'm going to go out on a limb here. Let's test this idea about feeling connected with each other. I really want to hear the children's voices in that video. Are you with me? Yes? All right. So, in memory of, in that feeling of connection that we have for today, let's think that maybe there's a 99.9% chance that if we try again, we'll be able to hear it just as it was supposed to be. So, roll the videotape.
All right, guys, listen up.
My mama.
My dad.
Our grandpa.
My daddy.
Our dad works at Caltrans.
Right on the highway.
Right next to speeding cars.
It's so scary. I worry about her.
Some people drive so fast.
Zoom.
Bam, bam, bam. Please.
Please be careful. At least slow down.
And pay attention.
Be alert. Be work zone alert.
I don't know what the plan is exactly for that video, but in this age that we're living in, if a link was sent out to everyone in the Caltrans family, who then sent it to every person under 25 to forward it on every platform they're on, don't you think it could cover millions and millions of miles? Yeah, let's have the kids talk to the kids on this one. Does that work, Director Berman? That works? Okay, thank you. Now I'd like to introduce the Honorable Jim Fraser, the Chair of the California Assembly Transportation Committee.
Good morning, everybody. Once again, it's an honor to be here with you today to pay tribute to the Caltrans workers and their families. Today, our hearts are with the family of William Kasdorf and colleagues who worked with him in District 11. He was a dedicated and beloved veteran of Caltrans, and with 19 years on the job, he will be sorely missed. I'll be brief. With the passage of SB 1, which I was one of the co-authors, billions more dollars will hit the street in the form of increased maintenance activities and road repair projects, and I've told my constituents, stop complaining, we're getting something done. Please, if you're a motorist, go slow for the cone zone. Do all you can to ensure that workers get home safely to their families in what we've seen up here. If you're one of those workers, be extra cautious, please. More road work may mean fewer patient drivers. Please, I implore you, be careful out there. But I also want to thank, I call it the three-legged stool, Caltrans, the California Transportation Commission, and the Highway Patrol. They're a team, and they're out there to protect us every day. I'm looking forward to all of us gathering back here next year with that perfect safety record. And thank you for all that you do in the state of California, all of the Caltrans workers, the Highway Patrol, and the California Transportation Commission. You are all very much appreciated. The Caltrans workers, again, please be safe out there.
A perfect safety record for what would be the 30th Caltrans Workers Memorial. I think that's an honorable goal. And the Honorable Jim Frazier, as I say that in this community as he walks around, it's Jim. And I know that every year he holds his emotion and his tears just slightly under the surface. And I really want to thank Director Berman for being willing to be in the place that this day brings us to, because you can't think of a person in memory of or in connection and not go to the true humanity that we have, the ability to express one-to-one with each other the love we should have for each other. Now I'd like to bring to the stage Matt Hansen. He's Vice President of Professional Engineers in California Government, PEG.
Good morning. My name is Matt Hansen. I'm the Vice President of Collective Bargaining for the Professional Engineers in California Government. PECG, or PEG, represents more than 13,000 state engineers, landscape architects, and land surveyors and related professionals. The majority of our members work for Caltrans designing and inspecting state highways. I'm so honored to be here and humbled to be with you today as we remember the women and men who gave their lives while working to keep travelers safe at on our state highways. As I look at these 189 cones in this beautiful setting in front of the historic state capitol, I'm reminded how each cone represents the spirit of one of the workers and that they were each part of something greater. They designed, built, and maintained one of the world's greatest transportation systems, and with that, grew one of the world's greatest economies. In life, those 189 men and women served the public well, and now they continue to serve through the highway system they built. They were resident engineers, construction inspectors, and land surveyors. They were explosive experts, toll takers, and heavy equipment operators, landscapers, painters, and electricians. They filled potholes, cleared brush, and picked up trash. We know, and they know, this is a dangerous calling. Working on state highways is a lot like driving on them. Both require constant vigilance and great caution. These public servants perished in landslides and from falls, electrocutions, and equipment mishaps, but most of them died at the hands of someone behind the wheel. Of the 98 workers who were killed on the job since 1972, more than half were struck by errant drivers. The statistics also tell us that in those instances, the driver was probably driving too fast, perhaps impaired by alcohol or drugs, or distracted from the road for just a second. And just a second is just long enough for one life to end and for many other lives to be changed forever. Today we share heavy hearts with their families and all Californians at their untimely passing. Yet today and every day, our grief is tempered with the gratitude for their public service, the legacies they've built, and the inspiration of their selfless examples. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hansen. And for each of those jobs, each of those people you mentioned, it's really wonderful to know how proud they are when they drive down the highway or cross a bridge or exit a freeway and say, my father, my mother, my son, my daughter, my friend helped build that. I have heard that pride many, many times. I didn't know how intensely it existed, how proud this family is of its work. But again, it is as it should be. I would like to introduce you right now to Sam Bates. He is a Caltrans Equipment Operator 1. He was injured on the job. He has a story to share with you, and it's a pleasure to have him come to the stage.
Hey, good morning. I'm an Operator 2 at Whitmore Maintenance Station here in District 3. This happened a couple years ago. I've been off for the last 25 months, so this is my first chance to speak out. On December 22nd, just after 4 a.m., I was shadowing a loader operation up the 2080 eastbound at the 2080 junction. My shadow truck attenuator was struck by an errant vehicle, causing my truck to be pushed into the live number 2 lane, 73 feet from the point of impact. I announced on the radio I just took a hit. Immediately reacting to my training, I pulled over back to the shoulder where I originally started, attended to the person who hit me. This person was standing in the live lanes, and I told him to stand in front of my truck, back on the safety of the shoulder. I watched this driver get an altercation with my lead worker on scene and then flee on foot into the darkness. Part of our training is scene safety and preservation. Notifying proper authorities, our dispatch, supervisors, superintendents, fire, CHP, strike flares, help warn other motorists of the hazards, and that's when I collapsed. Unknown at the time, I had a huge adrenaline dump, and I couldn't move. 3 herniated lumbar discs. 3 back surgeries later, including a fusion with hardware. Like I said, 25 months off of work, all from an unattentive driver. Later reports from CHP, the driver was most likely impaired by drugs or alcohol from evidence left at the scene. Also, the investigation revealed the vehicle was traveling in excess of 75 miles an hour from the number 1 lane, no skid marks at point of impact. 7 months later, I was informed by CHP that human remains were found after the snow melted 4 miles from the accident. The DA's office is yet to give definitive confirmation this is the person who ran. I'm pleased to see the move over laws, signs, messages displayed, campaigns viewed on social media, and worker safety commercial on TV and radio. Statistics show 37% decrease in rear vehicle collisions on emergency vehicles such as fire equipment and ambulances that have been outfitted with reflective striping on the rear of their vehicles. It's one more attention getter for the motorists, and I think Caltrans would greatly benefit from this as well. And I mean all of our fleet, all of our pickups, all of our heavy equipment, all of our slow-moving equipment, everything. If it works for fire and ambulance, it should work for us. Thank you.
It's not easy to stand up and tell the story. It happens every year. But I encourage you to go to the Caltrans website or just Google Caltrans Workers Memorial, and you'll find all kinds of pictures, flash videos, stories that can be told, more that you can learn and more that you can share so that the message gets out beyond this choir of people who already know and understand the importance of safety, unlike any other family in the state. I'm going to bring back to the stage now Director Lori Berman.
So one of the funds through CTF is the scholarships for the children of our fallen workers. And with joining me today, thank you, is Melissa Magana, whose father was killed in the line of duty in District 8.
Yes,
Thank you. And, you know, at Caltrans, we're all a family. So on behalf of the Caltrans family, I am pleased to give you this live check, real check, for $2,000. And I believe you want to speak now?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. It is a great honor to be able to have a scholarship like this in honor of fallen workers, especially having my dad's name attached to it. I was also told to come up to share a speech I did at a memorial down in District 8 a few years ago. So at the time of his demise in 1995, Michael Magana Sr. was a 43-year-old man who was 24 days away from turning 44. He had a mother, 6 brothers, and 5 sisters. He was married for 23 years and had 3 children, ages 11, which was David, 17, Michael Jr., and 22, myself, Melissa. He was married to my mother, Betty. Dad also served our country as a Marine in Vietnam and worked for Caltrans for 18 years in District 8. At a memorial, people will talk about the person that has passed, what they've missed since they've been gone, the births, deaths, birthdays, graduations, marriages, and all that applies to life. But that is not where I'm going. Little did our dad know what putting on his work boots, his vest, and his hat each day for work meant to us, and what the stories he told us would mean to his family 24 years later. Not only did he learn about freeways and the transportation system, but so did we. Wherever he would go, if there was a work site that he had worked on with the bridge crew, the guardrail crew, or occasionally the fence crew, we would hear about it. Those stories and the landmarks have now passed on to his grandchildren. See that post on the side of the 15 freeway holding that guardrail? Grandpa put that post and guardrail there. He would tell us about working in various weather conditions and the dangers involved. He told us that after the Northridge earthquake, he went to help repair bridges, and while working, there was an aftershock that shook the bridge, the lamppost, and the tractors that were on the bridge at the same time. Another danger was the 18-wheelers flying past on the highway as they were working, and they would have to brace themselves only to have their hard hats go flying off. He told us stories of the unthinkable things that drivers do, like a woman that was going eastbound on the I-10 and took the 215 North Bridge at the Guthrie interchange and stopped in the middle of the bridge only to reverse all the way back down just so she could continue eastbound on the I-10. We would hear how he would be up in the mountains on a grader plowing snow and seeing a dad on the side of the road running to shield his son from the plow, only to have my dad lift up the blades so they wouldn't be buried under snow as he drove by laughing. He was a jokester. Caltrans is not just men and women in orange wearing hard hats and working on the highways, but they were and still are friends that have evolved into family. Thank you to David Barrios, Billy Cagle, Landon Calkin, Stan Collins, Guy Cook, Rudy Gonzalez, Mike Humphreys, Linda and Dennis Carlson, Rusty Kruger, Don Lambert, Bob Langford, Bobby Luna, Wayne Grady, Al Silvas, and to the late Alex Sanchez, and many more that worked with Dad in District 8. During summer vacations, we would travel with Dad to jobs out of town, as would our new Caltrans family members. There were numerous Caltrans baseball games, barbecues, and various outings together throughout the 18 years, not to mention the countless practical jokes that would go on, but most important was the support through the rough times. Caltrans, to us, is not just another place of employment or a business we hear about in the news or view on traffic reports, but it was and still is in our lives as well as our hearts. So, as you are getting ready to go out into the field, please be on the defensive for your own safety. Just know that there are drivers out there that are aware of what you do, and that we too have seen and felt the sacrifices that you make. We do slow down when we see the cones. We pay attention to the signs, and we pray for your safety. On behalf of myself and the Magana family, thank you.
Thank you, Melissa, and to your family as well. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our ceremonial cone and wreath presentation featuring Colonel Bill Tubbs from the California State Military Reserve and the Amazing Grace soloist today, Deidre Wright from headquarters with the Caltrans Honor Guard. And now, please, a moment of silence.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Twas blind, but
With the benediction now, Chaplain Deborah Fontes of the Law Enforcement Chaplaincy.
Would you bow your heads with me? As you leave this place, may the living Lord go with you. May he go behind you to encourage you, beside you to befriend you, above you to watch over you, beneath you to lift you from sorrows, within you to give you the gifts of faith, hope, and love. In this we pray. Amen.
So here we are at the 29th Annual Caltrans Workers Memorial, and we remember the connections. Look for a connection today. Greet a family member. Greet someone in your district. Share a story with a friend, with a coworker. There are many ways today to extend the moment, the feeling, the remembrance that you have inside of you. There are even pieces of equipment that can show you the awesome power of the work that is done by the Caltrans family. Take a look at the damaged vehicles on the street, an attenuator from District 4, a truck from District 2. Read the stories, know what really happens out there, and then go home and tell the story. Maybe your kids will share it, and the word will continue to go out. There is a memorial tree on the other side of the Capitol. Our Caltrans Honor Guard members will be happy to escort any of the family members, anyone to be able to see it. The memorial tree has a rose and a plaque near it. Honor Guards will also escort you to the lunch that follows immediately. This is, I think, the most lovely time and the most reverent way to remember the lost ones and honor the safety and service of this department and all of its people across the state and everyone connected to the work that's done here. We all have our tiny moments of connection, don't we? I think this is my 11th year at this memorial, and my routine was always to come, take a picture, and send it off to my dad. And he'd respond, "Beautiful," again. I lost my dad last month. I'm in connection with him today. I am in memory of, but we are all in every way together today. And you should feel loved and honored and supported. And we need to go from here together with the togetherness that happens on the Capitol Mall once a year. Even more important because we had a very big goal established today, and that is to have a fully safe year to be back here next year and celebrate with no added cones to the diamond the 30th Annual Caltrans Memorial. Be safe, be peaceful, be careful, be in memory of, so that there are no more. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.